Mr. Mwangi, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Just introduce yourself and let us know more about coffee.
Okay. Thank you very much. As we have said, my name is Jesse Mwangi Kamuri, current trader proprietor of Jesse Estates. It's a small-scale coffee estate, operating about 5 acres of coffee. But I'm also immediate former MCA for Magana Ward. And I've also had the privilege of working in the coffee value chain. Started as secretary manager of Mudeka Farmers, then proceeded to Thika Coffee Mills as a field manager, and therefore I have been in it. Going straight to your question of what is the challenges facing the coffee sector, I want to deal with it in two perspectives. First, in the perspective of production, and second, in the perspective of marketing. So I want to deal with the value chain at the production level. Whereby first, the first challenge is the high cost of production, and two, the reliance of the conventional coffee. In terms of the high cost of production, today a farmer will not tell you what is the cost of producing 1 kilogram of coffee. But if you look at the cost of fertilizer, the cost of pesticides, the cost of fungicides, the cost of herbicides, it's very prohibitive. Vis-a-vis the return per kilogram of coffee. And therefore, you find that the farmers barely break even based on the current market prices. And therefore, if we want to address reforms in coffee, we must look at the cost of the farm inputs. That's number one. Number two is the reliance on the conventional coffee varieties, like the SL, SL7, K7, and the like, which are susceptible to diseases, and which, in terms of production capacity, they cannot be compared to the emerging varieties like Ruido and Batian, which are disease resistant and which have a higher yield per tree. So you still find that now the average farmer, for example here in Nyeri, are producing an average of 3 kilograms per tree, or the potential is about 60 kilograms per tree, and which has been recorded. So we would want to encourage and say, if we are to improve, then our farmers must shift from their own conventional coffee trees, the SL and the K7, and introduce or propagate Batian and Roiro. In that way, they are also going to reduce the requirements of fungicides, because this one will not require spraying for fungicides and everything. So they are disease resistant. So the cost of producing them is low, and the production per tree is higher, and therefore they're going to maximize their returns. Quickly going now to the value chain. This is where we have now the very serious problem, because what is the pricing mechanism of coffee? Because if today I'm operating a shop, usually I would go to a wholesaler, buy my item, say for example, at $1, and after I buy at $1, then I'll put in my mind, I want to load a profit margin of 10%, and therefore I'm going to say, for example, say that $1.20. But now in coffee, this is a demand and supply market thing, a system that is hedged or based on hedging and speculation in the New York. And now, when we have that hedging and speculation, it totally ignores the costs of production, and therefore the pricing in itself is inordinate. That's number one. Number two, who are the players in the coffee value chain above the farmer? You're going to find, for example, in Kenya, that the person who is your who is your miller, also doubles as a marketing agent, doubles is also a dealer, a roaster, occupies the whole value chain. So we have a case whereby you have a goat, you give somebody to take it to the market for you, and the same person wants to buy it. So now, he's going to set a price that, of course, that will just slightly be appeasing, but because he's the one who is buying at the end. So that's why you find that if you go at the international level, coffee remains the second most traded commodity after oil, and it fetches the highest price, second to gold. But the average coffee farmer remains a very poor person. This is because of the marketing inordinates, and whereby the issues that are highlighted. So moving forward, and if we want to redeem the coffee sector, the government must come up with serious interventions. And this is particularly to give the farmer, the producer, some slightly bigger say in how his coffee is sold in the market. And my thinking is, because now the international international players who have metamorphed into a cartel. And I've told you, they are growing coffee now. They are selling coffee. They are milling coffee. They are selling it. They are you know, they are dealers. They are roasters. They are everything. So I would propose, for example, the government comes with a legislation whereby requiring that any person operating a mill here in Kenya can only own, say, for example, 49% stake, and the farmers own 51% stake. Well, if you're a dealer here in Kenya, you only own 49% stake, and the farmers own 51% stake, or the government is a co-shareholder, for example. So that in the decision-making matrix, the owner of the goat is involved. Because ordinarily now we have left the farmers at the mercy of these people. And I can tell you then we have a very long way to go in coffee. We have tried initiatives. When I was working at Bundaka Farmers, we formed the Kenya Cooperative Coffee Exporters Limited, supported by the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, supported the Ministry of Cooperative Development, then Minister Joe Nyaga. But the fight we received from the cartels is that KCC almost never took off. It was only lucky that it has a strong financial backing from the Cooperative Bank. But I can say regrettably that even as that we are talking, I'm not sure it will even be able to pay its debts with the Cooperative Bank because of the fighting by these cartels. What do? When a new player comes, want to liberate these farmers, they hike the prices for that season, so that the farmers get a payout, say for example, about 120 shillings, such that nobody will dare go the other direction. And because they steal the bars at that edge, they ignore the lots offered on sale by this new player. And in fact, I want to record here, in fact in Kenya right now, we are at a very big risk. I hope nobody cares to raise it. Because the main players we are talking, Sidamans, has acquired almost all the other 4 players. So we only have about now 3 players in the coffee market. So we are heading towards a monopoly. So after this monopoly is established, then you expect that the coffee industry is going to crash. Because this person, without competition, will be buying his the coffee as he wishes. So to me, I think we have to address these 2 issues. One, the cost of production, the farming methods, that is in terms of propagation of new seeds. And 2, then, the government must come in to help the farmers in terms of now the value chain from the milling, marketing, and dealership to roasting, that we are able to give the farmers a bigger say. So if you are a roaster, wait for coffee in America, wait for coffee in Germany, wait for coffee in Saudi Arabia. If you are a roaster, now the roasters have come, they own farms in Loilo, they own mills in Loilo, in Madela, in name it. So this is the only way that we are going to have a say. This is the only way we are going to improve the coffee. And then, lastly, and then, least but not important, last important, is we need to think, all right, what the late president of Muammar Gaddafi, Egypt, is it? No, Libya, whereby he rallied the oil-producing countries to form the OPEC, so that they could be able to negotiate for the price of a barrel of oil. And it's only then that the oil-producing countries were able to get the benefit of their oil. So I think the presidents across the coffee-producing countries must sit together, must think together, must put their heads together. Because this is not a war that may be won necessarily by one government. And having worked the coffee chain, I can tell you this. When the Governor Diritu Gachagua wanted to introduce some reforms in coffee, very well meant. I happened to go with him even to America. Met serious dealers, and they were telling us, guys, if coffee in Nyeri becomes difficult to get, we are going to ignore it for 3 years. We see where we are going to take it. Because we control the whole thing. So we are saying, for the war to be won, the coffee producing countries must sit together and come up with a solution that we are going to be selling our coffee on, say for example, cost plus pricing. The cost of producing a kilogram of coffee is 80 shillings. So we are going to be loading a profit of 50 shillings. So that way, because people must drink coffee.
They have
to drink coffee. Otherwise, I think we have a role to play as farmers, and the government has a role to play, and even in the international arena, all the coffee producing countries must come together, form a body like OPEC, and discuss the coffee issues too. I think that way we are going to have serious reforms and improve the livelihoods of the average coffee farmer, who is a beggar today as we are talking.
He is a beggar today.
He is.
We really appreciate your views, and it is great for having you because of your leash experience in coffee, and we thank you that even for your time, and we are also going to add more. We are going to call you more as we move forward. Asante sana.
Thank you very much
so much.
Okay.
Asante.
Bye bye. Wish you good.